In this video, we are going to discuss the number of ways that you can navigate the software and actually add forms. So you can see at this point, I've just completed the basic information section. And a little side note, if the screen or the text when you're in the software looks a little large or a little small, or you want to mess with it at all, you can hold down the control key on your keyboard and roll your mouse forward or backward to make it larger. So to fill up the screen and make it easier for you to see what I'm doing, I'm going to do control forward and make it a little bit larger, or you can just click up here in the button in my browser and handle it there as well. So what are we going to do to add forms? Well, I'm going to continue out of this basic section here. And now you can see that by default, man, that's tripping me out. I'm used to it about 80% because I want to see as much as possible, but that's not the point. All right, you have the ability to use the Guide Me section, which allows you to actually go through more of like an interview format. So if your preparer is inexperienced, you can actually even force them to use this method. For an experienced preparer, this would probably drive you nuts. What are we going to do? We're going to ask you income questions. Do you have a W-2? Mr. Taxpayer, do you have a W-2? What is that? For my own knowledge, there's a description of it there. If you say no, it moves on to the next section. If you say yes, it takes you into the form. So if I click no, boom, I'm right there into the next section for the 1099-G. All right. Well, that's enough of that because this would drive me bonkers. So we're going to go back to our federal section. And as you can see, the next option to add forms is enter myself. When I click enter myself, it's going to give me a list view of everything that are income items. So if I wanted to go to a W-2, I could simply click anywhere on this line and it takes me to W-2, 1099. You can see it kind of highlights it or changes the color for the section I'm in. You want to go to your Schedule C? There you are. All right, so that's the second option, right? We've got the Guide Me, we've got the Enter Myself. Third option over here, and one of the favorites, is if you come up to this menu or this bar right here, and I start typing in, not a W-3, that's not a thing, and then I get the form corresponding to my entry. You can use form number or form description. So if I come in here and I type in mortgage, oh, there it is. There's my mortgage interest statement, and it will jump me right to that form. So it doesn't matter if you're in the income section or if you're in deductions, you can actually bounce between the sections just by typing in the form number or form description. All right, so that's number 3. What do we got again? Guide Me, Enter Myself, Form Finder. All right, number 4, and I have to admit my personal favorite, is up under the taxpayer's name. You have this guy right here called Quick File. And what does Quick File allow you to do? Well, it allows you to quickly go in here and build a list based on the order in which you enter them into this little bar right here. So if I know that my taxpayer, right, I've got all their forms right in front of me, I type in W-2. Well, there's the W-2. They've got a 1099. Which one? Well, they've got 1099 interest, and they've got a 1099 miscellaneous. Because they also have a Schedule C, contract self-employment. What else do they have? They've got mortgage interest statement, gifts to charity. All right, and we'll say that that pretty much sums up. Maybe they got a 1098-T. All right, that sums it up. When I click this continue button, the program is going to go into basically a sequence where it's looking, or it's going to take you to each of these forms. Now, if you decide that you added something incorrectly, or you want to come back and modify this list, you can actually just click cancel in the form, which I'll show you here in a second, and it will ignore it as if you hadn't added it to that list. I typed in W-2, they don't have a W-2. So what am I going to do? I'm going to click the cancel button. Do they have interest income? Sure. Chase Bank, 987654322. And I didn't have that in my EIN database, which there is an EIN database. It would then populate whatever they, 250 bucks, nothing major. If you have multiple 1099 interest, You can just click save and enter another, and it would take you right back to the form over and over again till you're done entering in however many of that particular form they had. So now you can see we're onto our 1099 miscellaneous. Oops, I added that incorrectly. You get the point, right? You go up there to the taxpayer's name, click on the click file, you build out a list, and you keep it moving. You can also see that anything that's added to the return over here on the left-hand side, it gives you that little pay-per-click guy, and you can jump back to it anytime. That's not the way you add forms, but that's a way that you can navigate back to them. So just as a refresher, we've got the guide me, we've got the enter myself, we've got the form finder, we've got the quick file, and lastly, but absolutely not least, is the click on summary print tab. When I click on summary print, it's going to take me either to the 1040 view or a summary, depending on how I've set it up in my configuration. All right. And I set it up to bounce to my, my 1040 here. And you can see that all that I need to do now to get to a particular form is just click directly on it. Anything in blue is a hyperlink actually to the form. You can see it's already got my standard deductions and whatnot in there. So just to, again, refresh, what are our 5 different form entry navigation methods? We've got the guide me, hold my hand. We've got the I know what I'm doing, enter myself. We got the I know a little more of, even more so what I'm doing, which is my form finder um, by keyword or by form number. You've got the quick file up here under the taxpayer's name, right? Boom. And then you also can look at how things are flowing over to the 1040 just by clicking into the summary print section. All right, that's this is the longest video we've done so far. Let's cut it off, and thank you very much.